Did we ever restart these?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna take a little pause. Okay. And why did you choose to tell your story this way? And why was it important to you to do it now?
Wow, that's a really good question. I would say I really actually struggle with wanting to share this information. It's something that I had to be extremely prayerful about. And even when I was in the hospital and thinking about it, I was like, is this something that I want to share? Is this something I should keep private? But I've always been this person. I think a year ago I posted on Instagram about people only sharing their highs of highs, and Instagram is just a reel of highlights, and no one gets to see the valleys or the lows. And this, I'm not going to consider this a valley or a low point, because this experience is something that I'm grateful for. I think it renewed me. I think it restored me. It made me a new Maya and a better Maya. So because I have that perspective, I thought it would be really important to share, because I'm hoping through this story / testimony that someone pulls just a little something out of it, so they can be renewed or restored or start that process. And why or how, I think this is the best way to share a story sometimes, rather than just writing it down, which I did journal. But I think this is a good way to share that, being personal and showing myself this way, being vulnerable. I think that's what I meant.
In the first 5 minutes of being in the hospital, what were your initial thoughts?
I really thought about, I think, like 3 things. I thought about, I was a little fearful, like how long could this last? I kept thinking about my dog, Bullet. That's my baby, and I was really concerned about my dog, to be honest with you. Ray will probably put a picture of him in here now. That's my baby. He can work my nerves. And 2, that's another thing. I'm probably Ray's gonna be like, why are you adding this? But if I didn't know before I know now, yes, I want to be married. Yes, I want my 3 babies. Is Maya not ready for it right now in this season? Nope. Hopefully, one day, I'm not gonna say one day soon, I think, but there's still a lot of preparation. There's still a lot of growing that I have to do to be able to give and sacrifice in that way. And I want to be able, when I do that, I want to be able to do it well. And then the third thing, I thought about life. Like, when people think about hospitals, they think about death sometimes, and especially with COVID going on, I was scared about that. So, yeah.
When did you realize that this was something bigger than you?
Ooh. I think when I got to Emory and I finally opened my Bible. Mind you, people have been commenting, we haven't seen a lot of people come into the hospital with a physical Bible. And my Bible, obviously the words in it, it's what we hold true, but this particular Bible that I travel with, no matter if I'm going to my sister Tonique's house, if I'm going to Disney World, and I sleep with my Bible every night. It's a Bible that I purchased my sophomore year in undergrad, and it's something I grew up in the church. I received a lot of Bibles, but when you purchase your own Bible, it's just something different about that. And it's the English Standard Version, so it's a version that I can understand and really kind of dig into. So I finally opened my Bible when I was at Emory, and really just having God talk to me through His Word. And then 2, besides just opening the Bible, I finally decided to talk to God. I finally decided to pray and pour out my heart to Him, and how I was feeling, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that's when it kind of clicked for me that you prayed since you were younger to break generational curses, and you just don't know how you could be doing them through what processes. And you just don't know. I know purpose and calling is not just about you. It's not selfish. It's connected to other people. And I think that's when, God really kind of revealed that this situation, honey, is really not about you. I need to take you through some things. Because I know I've had a call in my life, and you really can't help other people if you haven't been through anything. And I just knew this was another thing to kind of add to my story, to be able to help someone else down the line.
Was there ever a point where you realized that you shifted from talking at God to talking to God?
For sure. I think I've been talking at God for a while, long before I even got to the hospital, long before this situation. And then when I got to Emory, like I said, decided to actually have a genuine conversation and pour my heart out about everything, from my recent breakup that I just had, to the situation, to my struggles with my professional life, to everything. Once I poured all that out and really, people love to say I laid it at his feet, but I laid it on his heart. That's when I realized, that's when it shifted, and I started to talk to him and see him as like my father, and really try to dig into trusting and having faith in him.
Is there anything you would have done differently leading up to now?
I would have listened. Period. Real simple. I would have listened. Stemming before this, there was a particular situation where I tried to take it in my hands, because I'm a fixer naturally. I'm a fixer, and you can't fix everything. You can't fix people. They have to want to do that themselves. And I had been given a vision of something, and I thought because I was given that vision that I was supposed to make it play out a certain way, and that wasn't the case. Not saying that vision is not going to come to pass. However, I tried to do it myself, and that was really, really, really tough at the end of the day. So if I could change anything, I would have listened, and I'm not sure if me listening would have changed this entire situation on a spiritual note, because there was obviously some medically some things wrong. However, I would have listened, and I would have been obedient.
So you were in the hospital for about 2 weeks. Across the board, if you could explain them in one word each, how would you say this affected you mentally, physically, and spiritually?
Mentally, taxing. Physically, daunting. Spiritually, uplifting.
What was the most astounding moment of that experience?
So I don't think I can just narrow it down to one moment, but I think there were several moments that created many memories. I think the closeness of mine and my mom's relationship, that was a moment that needed to happen. I didn't understand the magnitude of the people that I had in my village, known and unknown, to pray for me, y'all. I have some serious prayer warriors, and I'm so thankful for the friends, the true friends, that checked on me every single day until I said, hey, I can't talk anymore. Not that I don't want to, but I really can't talk anymore. And they probably didn't understand why, and half of them reached out to my younger sister, like, we just want to check on Maya. We just want to make sure that she's okay. So those moments were really special. The prayer warriors, thank you for your continued prayers, and I pray that you continue to keep on praying. I think that was a really special moment. A moment that I had just me and God, and when I was able to kind of pour out my soul to him, that was a moment. I've only had 2 of those moments in my life where I pour out in prayer, but like 2 of those gut-wrenching, like stirring up moments where I was like, this is nobody but God, and you just feel, I feel his spirit, especially when praise and worshiping, and I get the opportunity to sing and stuff, but like his closeness, his presence, like I really felt like he wrapped his arms around me. That was a really special moment. And then getting to go home, and my first stop with my mom, and this was her first experience there, was Jenny's ice cream. So good, y'all. It's so freaking good. I love Jenny's. We love Jenny's. Those are major moments that I would really say thank you to. Oh, and I won't forget this one. One night my dad called and he sung to me. And I really appreciated that. And my late godmom, she passed, and she has a song that's recorded, and I was able to listen to that, and it really brought me a lot of peace and a lot of tears. Another special moment.
So, are you fully healed?
I think healing is an ongoing process, and it depends on what am I healed from. I think physically, am I healed completely? No. I think it's gonna take a while. I think spiritually, I know what it looks like now to be whole. Am I there? No. Do I want to be there? Yes. Do I have to be there before I allow anyone else in my space? Personally, like relationship wise, yes. I have to be whole for that person's benefit. But I definitely think I'm on the way to being there, and I think it's the process that I'm working towards every day with God. And I'm not trying to control it. I'm not trying to heal Maya. I'm allowing Him to do that by opening my heart, and it's my prayer every day that God posture my heart towards You. Make my words, words of love. Help me to see people the way that You see them. Help me to have compassion. Help me to be empathetic. Help me to be humble. If anything else, this experience humbled the heck out of my mouth. I'll tell you that much for sure. Really humbling.
With being humble comes recognizing your place in other people's lives. Mm-hmm. And how do you think this experience affected those around you?
I know for those that are extremely close to me, and we have like intimate relationships. So that's like a couple of my sisters, my baby sister, my mom and my dad, and my aunts and my uncles, and some really close friends that have been or from the same hometown. And I'm trying really hard not to name any names because I don't want someone to say like, oh, you left me out. But if you know who I'm talking about. People that I went to undergrad with. I think that when I hurt, they hurt, and they were really hurt and they were worried. But again, going back to them praying and being prayer warriors, they were also filled with hope. Oh, and no, let me not forget. Woohoo! My grandma. I feel that my grandmas have a direct connection to the Lord. Like I can talk to God, but they can just ring them on up, and it's just like this direct connection. I'm not capping. Like it's just something different, and I feel like it definitely affected them in some way. So it's not a laughing matter. I know that the people that are really close to me, they were affected and they felt what I felt, but we're on the up and up now, so we're good.
Are there lessons to be gleaned from this? And if so, how are you going to move differently progressing forward?
Oh, honey, yes. There are plenty of lessons that were learned and that are continued to be learned from this whole situation and from this hiatus, which was needed. Y'all, it is okay to disappear. It's okay. Okay, and I think going forward, thank you. And I think going forward, I keep saying, I was telling my sister, I was like, especially when I said, this is a new Maya, like, I'm gonna try my best. Y'all know I got a sailor's mouth sometimes. So I'm gonna try my best, not to do that anymore. Really, again, have my heart posture towards God every day, asking Him to experience His presence in every interaction that I have. So those are, I think, literally, it's just like those little changes. And y'all, I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. I promise you, if nothing, week 4 showed me that I'm not perfect because I began to fall short in certain areas. I was like, I'm trying to be good. And being a Christian and having a relationship with God is not about being freaking perfect. Let me tell you that. That's, I think, one thing I've struggled with all my life. And it's just not about being perfect and trying to be good. It's, you just making the effort every single day to love how Jesus loves, and to be you, and to try to just improve. It's all about effort and improvement. That's all I can say.
That was the last question I had, so I'm gonna make up one really quick.
Okay.
If you could sum up this entire experience in one word,
Jesus.
one, what would it be?
Opportunity.